I told Youns that this shit would start happening. Several weeks ago, I made a video called A Warning. And in that video, I talked about things like watching what you say online, avoiding making actionable statements, informants, snitches, and all those things. What are you doing, Bo? What do you want? And we've seen already that several of these things have came to pass. The other night, I did a stream with my friend Ronan. And for a part of the stream, we talked about infinite and finite games. And he made this really good observation that here in Amerikwa, it seems that our society plays a 4-year finite game that follows the election cycle. And what we're going to see, and what we have seen recently, the Biden administration, I don't really care much for talking about mainstream politics, but it does have a bearing over all of us, unfortunately. The Biden administration is extremely unpopular in this country, especially here in Appalachia, the rural South, many other parts of the country. It's extremely unpopular. They fucked everything up. Everything's expensive. The whole, how the government handled the whole train derailment up there in East Palestine, Ohio. Many other things. Many. I mean, the decline is as noticeable as ever. It's as apparent as ever. So what's going to happen? We are two years into the Biden administration. We are in the second half now. The election will be in November of 2024. And since the Biden administration, the regime, has done such an outstanding job of fucking everything up, what they are going to do is they are trying to target their ideological and dissident opponents. The most popular recently, of course, is the indictment against President Trump over campaign payments, something that has already been looked over, something that has been combed through already 7 years ago. What are you doing, Bo? Yet they're bringing it back up. On our side of things, the recent arrest of Rob Rundo, founder of the Rise Above movement. He was recently arrested in Bucharest, Romania, to be extradited, I suppose, back to California, to face charges, a new indictment that had already been dismissed once from events that happened during a small street clash, back in California, I think in 2017. So you see, the Biden administration, due to its immense unpopularity, they are going to do everything they can to round up as many of our guys, or people that's not even technically our guys, that are just adjacent to us. This is what's going to happen. They're trying to make a concerted effort, and then the media will brag about this in order to, help Biden's polling numbers, you could say. They are scrambling it's a dragnet, you could say. There's a couple of lesser known cases involving lesser known figures on the more extreme side of things. Not really going to talk about that here, but these guys made the mistake of not watching what they say online, of making actionable statements. And what I'm here to do is just to reiterate what I had mentioned in that video, A Warning. and that is to watch your fucking mouth online. Do not make any sort of actionable threat, because all them private Telegram groups you're in, all these private Discords or wherever, and including the not so private public forums, you know, I've made it abundantly clear where I stand regarding violence. I don't encourage it, but I'm not going to sit here and disavow it either, because I do think that one day things will come to push and shove, and we should be prepared, of course. But you know, I think that's why they targeted Rundo and brought up some bullshit from 5-6 years ago that had already been dismissed. A judge had already dismissed this. Yet, you know, they've got a hard-on for Mr. Rundo because he is an ideological opponent. And you know, for you movementarian types, myself, I'm not involved with or really a fan of the idea of a public-facing group, but I do understand that many of you are. What I just wanted to reiterate, something that I've said many times before, is the larger the group, you know that there's going to be snitches and informants in there, and you have to operate as such. I'm not trying to sow discord, but I don't care how good your vetting system is. I don't care how good your vetting system is. Group's big enough, there's going to be snitches in it, informants. So you got to learn how to operate in that world if you're into the public-facing group. But the reason I think the only sort of public-facing groups that I am a fan of are the ones that are rooted within self-improvement or perhaps doing charitable work, which I do see some of these other large public-facing groups engaging in that. And I think that's a good way to win public support. But about the active clubs, formerly the Rise Above movement, you know, MMA training, learning how to defend yourself. The government, the regime, is absolutely terrified of a young white male population that is high testosterone and capable of defending themselves. They are terrified of this, and I believe that this is why Rundo has been targeted. So what I'm saying, so my advice to you here in the future is, of course, watch what you say online. Be careful who your friends are. Be careful with this. Be careful who you are nice to. You know, online, I've got my little circle of friends. And to be honest, from some of the things that I've seen happen over the last, say, 3, 4, 5 months, I'm not saying this to be standoffish, but you know, I don't need any new friends. I don't want any new friends. You know, I've always been fairly open to people talking to me, and I'm open to making new acquaintances, of course, but I really don't want any new friends. I'm closing my circle, because what you see will happen. It's these, say, Telegram, Discord, any form of social media. It's going to be flooded with informants. So I don't need any new friends. Don't get yourself hemmed up. Don't get yourself hemmed up. And I think we're going to see a lot more of it happen, because this dragnet, you know, even if you follow the rule of law, you are still the enemy. And what they are going to do is just conjure up any sort of legal bullshit that they can to hem you up. It's unfortunate, but I mean, this is where we are, you know. This is the state of things. Be careful who your friends are. And there's a part, sorry, my voice is not functioning at peak performance this morning. But there's a little A lot of people talk about reading a certain book by James Mason, the infamous James Mason. There's a part in that book where he said to be extremely leery of stupid people. And I don't know if a lot of people that claim to read this don't seem to put that bit of knowledge into practice. Because stupid people, and they're here on this side. Get out of my face, Bo. They're here on this side, unfortunately. And they will get you hemmed up. You know, they may not be like, you know, a malicious informant or snitch, but they can get you hemmed up just as fucking quick. Be careful who your friends are. Be careful who you're nice to. Anyways, you know, the rest of 2023 and 2024 is going to be lit. It's going to be wild. You know, the psyops, the gay ops, they never quit running. They never quit. But they really pick the fuck up right before the election cycle. Guard yourself against this. You know, be vigilant. Bo, get off me. Get off me, both. Get off me, bub. Be vigilant. Stay on your guard. And I'm not trying to sow paranoia, but you ain't doing the race any good if you hemmed up, if you locked up. It's unfortunate, but it's just the truth. Be careful. Thank y'all for watching. Bye-bye.